welcome. This is episode 49 of Lina Knits podcast. I'm Lina and I'm coming to you from my home in Helsinki, Finland. And today I have a lot of whips. My only FO has been mailed out to the recipient and a tiny bit of stats enhancement. It's December the 22nd. It's a Friday before the Christmas holidays. So it's a bit hectic, and I think this is going to be a short episode as I have a busy day ahead of me. If you followed my Vlogmas episodes, you probably have seen everything that I'm going to share today. But if you haven't missed any of the knitting content. It'll be here too. And I'll go into more detail, of course, on what I'm working on. Let's begin with the FO. So I finished the mitts for my grandmother, the simple ribbed cuff and stockinette body mitts. I mailed them out. Hopefully she will get them today. I haven't heard from her, so she hasn't gotten them yet, I think. So hopefully they'll be there today so that she has the package to open on Christmas Eve. And I really do hope that they help with her joint pain. But yes, those took 40 grams of the fingering weight yarn, and I was really quite pleased with how they turned out. I will insert a photo or a bit from my Vlogmas videos if I can. So if I was able to use all them already. So yes, and the yarn I used for that was Tail and Tendril Cypress in the colorway Run. Right, then on to the whips. Let's begin with another gift. And if you're my partner, look away. Although I really don't think that he's watching. But I'm knitting his socks and they're not finished, and I don't think they will be. The first one is, it's here. It's the Hermione's Everyday pattern, except that I didn't look at the pattern, but the stitch pattern for the leg and foot. And then I just did a slipped stitch heel flap and a 2x2 rib. This could be the pattern or it could not be. But and Hermione's Everyday pattern is the free pattern on Ravelry. But this is sock number 1, and this is sock number 2. I don't know why it looks like there are a million yarn ends when there really aren't, but so it's coming along. I really do think this part is a bit too high, but like I said, he wears them only around the house over his cotton socks mostly. So yeah, I've got a fair bit of the leg still left, as you can see. And I've only got basically today to do it, since I'm trying to knit this as a secret. So he'll be home tomorrow, as it's a Saturday, and we celebrate Christmas mostly on Christmas Eve, or that's the big day for us. So that's when we exchange gifts and have a big meal. So yeah, but I'll just wrap them as they are. That's also good because then I can adjust the length on that stock, and then if I need to do the toe section here again. The yarns that I'm using for this, and I'm knitting this with 2.25 millimeter needles. I usually do socks in 2, but now I'm doing that just so that it goes a tiny bit faster. So these are my yarns. The main color, I'll show this again. The main color is Barenwala, and the barefoot sock colorway is called Gentian, and the contrasting color is called by Handu, and it doesn't have a name or a colorway. They're both fingering weight wool yarns, and this one came in a 50 gram skein. So that's my gift knitting that you've seen, then you've heard me mention that I want to knit my son a pair of mitts with the flip top. This is where they are. But these I can knit during the evenings. So that's what I'll be doing today and tomorrow evening. Hopefully I'll get them done. I hope. But this, my son likes green. That's his favorite color. So, and this is again something I've had stashed for a really long time. It's Black Bunny fibers. It says merino worsted, but this is a DK weight yarn. It has 215 yards in 100 grams. Yeah, it says DK, but I'm using it as a, no, it says worsted, but I'm using it as a DK weight yarn. And the pattern that I'm using for the mitts is Helen Stewart's Tchaikovsky mitts from the Knit Vent, this year's Knit Vent patterns in the Curious Handmade. The Curious Handmade Knit Vent for this year. And those are just fingerless mitts, but I'm winging it and adding the flip top there. I really, next year, if I don't have knitted gifts done by the beginning of December, I'm not knitting gifts. It's just, these make my December so very stressful, and I just don't like it, and I feel like I get no enjoyment from my free time when I'm just knitting things that I have to knit in a hurry, fearing they might not be finished on time. And this year it looks like only my grandmother's gift was finished on time. Yeah, it's my fault I didn't start on time. Still, feel free to remind me next year, October, November, start knitting your gifts. That's what I need to do. And in December, if I say I'm going to cast on for a gift, tell me no, don't do it. I like gift knitting, but I don't like deadline knitting. And mostly I like knitting for myself, if I'm absolutely honest. I know it sounds horrible, but that's the truth. Alright, all of my knits are somehow tied to Christmas. But the next WIP I'm going to share is my Advent scrap socks. I'm still on the first sock, so I did not keep up with this. I'm on day 11, and it's the 22nd. I'm on day 11 here, and I've dropped a stitch. Hang on, yeah, got it. I think I've got them all now. So these will be like knee-length socks. I'm adding or striping the green with the gray, and this is my cuff color. So I'm almost done with that. And I've got all of the other minis opened. There's no way for me to hold them all, but they are stunning. I really like all of them. So that's the first set, or not the first set, but so there's more and more. I've opened and shown each of these individually on the respective vlogmases. So this is 2 days and 2 more to open. I'm not even going to say when I think I'll finish this. I hope soon, because knee-length socks for winter is nice. But well, I'll get to that in a moment. So then the last width, and again, sort of a Christmas knit fave. I've got the body for my Yule Grand sweater done. So this is a pattern by Andy Sutherland, and there's an option to decorate the tree as well, but I think I'll leave mine plain. The body fits really well, except I think the sleeve, not a sleeve cap, but like the sleeve opening might be too wide, I don't know. But I used less than 2 skeins for the body, so I've got 2 and a bit to do the sleeves, so I can definitely make full length sleeves. Although now I'm tempted to do short length sleeves so that it would be done by Christmas Eve. We're going to my parents' house on Christmas Day, so I might just knit on this on Christmas Eve as well and hopefully wear it there. But yeah, really enjoyed this pattern. Worsted weight yarn, it goes by really quickly. The yarn that I'm using is Cascade Yarns 220. Again, something I've had in my stash for a while. I don't know what it is. I seem to be diving into my stash, deep stash, a lot lately and picking yarns from there to work with, which is nice. I'm just searching for the colorway information. That is the Heather's colors, and Ravelry says this is called Sparrow, but it does have a number basically. Just can't find it on that tag. It's a really muted, heathery, grayish green. if that's a good description. I guess I should mention what I'm wearing. This is my latest design called Carade. It's a shawl or a wrap inspired by Scotland and friendship, and I've released it yesterday. It's available on Ravelry, and there will be a short separate video where I talk more about this, but it's a rectangle. It has 2 lace patterns, and this one and this one, and it uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and the yarn that I used is 100% wool yarn by Lina Knits. It's the 5 fingering base, and the colorway is called Dawn, which is also inspired by Scotland. So I thought the pattern and that yarn is really a match made in heaven in all aspects. The yarn worked really well for the pattern. It's in making it drape really well. It's warm and lightweight. And Maria and I met last March in Edinburgh, and so Scotland friendship. Yeah, just really pleased with this one, and I'm really happy with the reception that it's gotten from all of you, so a big thank you. If you're watching this right when it goes live, there is still, right when this goes live, there's still a bit of time to use the 20% off introductory offer. So go on to the pattern page, which I've linked down below, to get more information on the pattern and take advantage of that offer. If it's not there anymore, then it's past, but it's on until the end of December 23rd. And my newsletter subscribers got a slightly larger discount, and it's a valid slightly longer. So that's sort of a bonus for them, and my thank you for them for subscribing and being a supporter of my work. Right, then other crafty woolly things. I have a new skein of yarn that I spun. So the content of this is a mystery. I bought the bat or the braid from Unwind Brighton 3 years ago, something like that, 3.5 years ago, and it didn't have any information on the content. I know I did ask, but forgot. So I've spun it during the meetings. Well, it's not a meeting. During the spin nights that I've had at Lentavalapanen. This weighs about 80 grams and it has 225 meters and it weighs about 80 grams. So I think it's like a DK worsted weight. I have no idea what to knit with this. I'm planning on finding something to go with this solid colored fiber that I could spin to go with this, and then do something striped, like a striped hat or a cowl. I'm thinking purple, but it'll be difficult to find the right purple. Gray would also be nice, but that would be quite boring to spin, I think. I don't know. Anyway, really pleased that I've made a skein of yarn. And other purchases, I realized that I've gone to those spin nights 3 times now, and they're held at Lentavalapanen, which is a very large yarn store, and I realized that I've not purchased any yarn from there. I'm quite proud of myself for the restraint, but this time I was sitting next to a basket of Klompelompe, which is a DK weight or sport weight alpaca merino nylon mix, so a soft yarn. And I was just, the shades were gorgeous. Wouldn't this just be dreamy for a pair of striped socks? These are 50-gram balls, so the leg won't be that long, but I just had to get them. One lost its band somewhere. These have just numbers for the color names. This is 4011 and this is 4331, and this is then something unknown. Yeah, I've never used this yarn before. I don't think I've even heard of it before, but the colors just, I had to get them. I don't know when I'll get to these. This is again a winter project definitely, but this winter, next winter, who knows. But just fell in love with the colors. And because I've been feeling so stressed out about my knitting this December, feeling like I don't have time to knit, and also that when I do knit, it's these obligation knits that I have to do, even though I'm the one who told myself that I need to do them. So I've also, on my mind, while I've been knitting on them, I've had on my mind sort of a list of things I want to knit. Some are yarn based, like I want to knit this yarn into something, and some are based on what I feel like I find myself often thinking I wish I had. So I'm trying to get those things like after the Christmas things. And because of that, I also want to go through my weight basket again. I already know that there are 2 projects that I'm definitely going to frog and use the yarn for something else. One is this pair of socks that I'm knitting out of Lina Knits Bray in Love Struck Baby. I love the yarn and the pattern. It's McMary by Claire Divine, and I love the pattern, but I haven't touched this in over 6 months, and it's just, I know that I will not be picking this up anytime soon, so I think I'll frog it and use the yarn for something else. And if the pattern starts calling my name again, I'll just do it from some other yarn. And then the other one that I'm going to frog, I feel quite sad about both of these because I do really think that what I have is beautiful, and I feel sad frogging it, but I know that it'll feel wonderful. It's my starting point wrap. That was a mystery knit along by Joji Locatelli this summer. It's just, I still haven't finished Clue 1, and I really like the color combination I've done, and I've enjoyed knitting this. But again, I know this, I'll just start new projects and work on them and not get to this. So I'm going to frog it. There are a lot of yarn ends here, so that means that there are a lot of tiny stripes here. So actually, as horrible as it sounds, I think I'm just going to chuck this away. There's no point in trying to salvage the yarn. The skeins that I've been using are here. There's still plenty there's still plenty left on each of them. So I just need to get the number of my whips down so that I feel like I am free to knit on what I feel like knitting on. Yeah, if you watched me for a while, you know that this happens every now and then. I start feeling anxious about my knitting, want to make everything very simple, have only a few projects, and then soon after that I've started so many because that's what I wanted to do, and then I'm at this point again. But I guess that's just my knitting cycle, then that's how it works for me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to fight with myself on this one. That's everything for today. I know this was quite short. I got through everything pretty quickly. Didn't have that much to show on most of my projects. But it's December, I hope you understand. I will see you in January with new enthusiasm and hopefully finished objects and new projects. And we'll see how it goes from there. Thank you so much for being there, for watching, for your support. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year.